In today's video, we're getting saucy with the best pepperoni pizza you've ever had at home. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Seasoning. I am your host, Farnum, and today we're making some top shelf za. What the hell is top shelf pizza? Come on, it's gonna be fire. And pepperoni at that. Before we jump into it though, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below. I'm always down there chit-chat with you guys, so show some love. For real though, last video we did a pizza in the uni oven. It didn't get that many views because, well, most people don't have an uni oven. We're doing it in a regular oven. That way you can make this incredible pepperoni pizza at home. I'll say nothing else other than B-roll. Let's go. All right, the ingredients for the pepperoni pizza are: grab yourself some pizza dough from your local bakery or grocery store. We ain't got time to do all the rising, sitting, proofing. Come on. Fresh basil, a yellow onion, garlic, some of that sweet stuff, sugar, anchovy paste. I know you're gonna be like, ew, we don't like anchovies, Farnum. It tastes like fish. No, it doesn't. Trust me, it's gonna blend into the sauce. It's gonna give it a great flavor, great depth. A whole block of shreddable mozzarella, pepperoni, red pepper flake, oregano. I don't know why I said it like that. San Marzano whole peeled tomatoes. Remember, these come from the ashes of the Mount Vesuvius eruption. A lot of flavor in these. And some avocado oil. Don't forget though, when it comes to pizza, if we're making it in the oven, we do need some tools to make it successful. So you'll need a pizza stone, a pizza peel, and an optional dough prickler, or you could just use a fork, but this is way faster. All right, so we gotta prep before the prep work. And I know you're probably thinking, what does that mean, Farnum? Well, it means if you got some dough from your grocery store, go ahead and pull it out. We want the temperature to warm up to close to room temperature. That way it's nice and stretchy. Second off, we gotta heat our pizza oven up with the pizza stone inside. That way it's nice and hot when the pizza's ready. So now we're gonna go ahead and set our oven to 500 degrees. And as you can see, I've got a baking sheet on top of the pizza stone to go ahead and cook from the top and bottom. All right, now let's talk about the pepperonis. Now, have you ever had a pepperoni pizza and you go to bite it and there's just oil dripping everywhere? Listen, don't get it twisted like braids. I get it. Pizza's supposed to have a little bit of grease on it, a little bit of oil to make it authentic, but we don't need it dripping. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pepperonis, we're gonna line them up on a plate with a paper towel. We're gonna cover it with another paper towel and a plate, and we're just gonna microwave for 30 seconds. All right, it's BP time. Chevron, 7-Eleven. What? Oil, let's check it out. So we put it in there for 30 seconds. Look at all that grease that we are now going to avoid on our pizza. And don't forget, it's on the bottom half too, okay? We're gonna avoid, we'll still get a little bit for that flavor, but we're not gonna be saucing and surfing on oil. You feel me? And the pepperoni will be crispy. What? All right, I figured let's keep it traditional. We'll do some mozzarella on top. Polly want a cracker? No, Polly wants some mozzarella. So we got a block right here, and all we're gonna do is just shave this block right down the side. I don't know how well it's gonna work. Let's give it a peek. I mean, that looks like some mozzarella slices to me. So we'll just, I'll say we do about half a block and that should give us enough. Maybe I'll do the whole thing, we'll see. I should have froze this low key. Actually, we're gonna freeze it real quick. We'll be right back. Let's see if it works better. All right, I put this in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Let's see if it shreds any better. Yeah, so make sure you put it in the freezer a little bit before you're gonna shred. All right, next, all we have to do is prep everything out. We're gonna make a homemade sauce. It's gonna be packed with flavor. It's gonna be amazing, better than anything in the store. All we're gonna have to do is cut up an onion, garlic, and some basil. We'll start with the garlic. We're gonna take about 4 heads. We're gonna cut the butt off, smack, peel them out, do some fine slices, fine chop, scoop it up into the bowl. Next, we got a yellow onion. I'm only gonna take about 1/4 of this, and then I'm going to very finely cut it up, scoop it up into the bowl. All right, and then we're gonna take a handful of some basil leaves, and all we're gonna do is roll them up, hit them with a thin slice, scoop them up into a bowl. All right, so the cheese is shredded, and at this point, we could definitely throw some flour down and turn our dough into some pizza crust, but we wanna save that for the very last thing. We're changing it up, we're learning as we go. I used to do it beforehand and let it sit, but as soon as we get this thing into the shape we want it, we wanna get it in the oven ASAP. So in the meantime, let's go ahead, we're gonna hit the stove and make our sauce. All right, roll with me like a drive-by. Here we go. We got our avocado oil on a medium heat. We're throwing it in a pan. You can see it's nice and hot. By the way, that oil is splooshing around already. So we're gonna coat that. Don't do too much though, because when we put them tomatoes in, it's gonna go crazy. So onions in, it's popping like Chris Brown in 2007. All right, let's go ahead and mix. These are gonna cook down quick. So look, as you can see, they're already starting to brown because they're so finely chopped. You got a lot of surface area, a lot of cooking going on here. Now don't forget, ladies and gents, we got that red chili flake. We're gonna do about 1/2 teaspoon. Whoop. that was a lot. Oh well, we're gonna have a little spicy pizza on our hands. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and let the flavor and the heat just kind of come out of those while we're mixing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're just gonna let these cook down for about 30 more seconds. All right, so when these onions start to get nice and translucent, we're just gonna scoot them over, and then we're gonna go in with that garlic. Now, we might have to hit this with another little drizzle of oil, which I think we will have to do just because it is a little light. There we go. We're gonna add some oil in there just to get these frying down a little bit. Now, keep in mind, these are very finely cut, so these are gonna cook fairly quickly. So it's only gonna take about 30 to 45 seconds for this garlic before it starts scorching. So we just gotta keep an eye on them. All right, after about 45 seconds, once this garlic starts to get aromatic, we have to prevent this from burning. Now, two things. You're gonna wanna have a lid around just in case this thing starts popping, okay? So here we go, we're going in. Yep, gonna cover that up partially. I want y'all to check me out real quick. Wait, not that kind of check me out. What I meant was, listen up. So the reason we threw that lid down is just to prevent the oil and the moisture from popping and splattering everywhere. Nobody wants to deal with that. Now, what we have to do is we have to smash these whole peeled tomatoes down. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we go, and we're just gonna smash these whole peeled tomatoes. Beautiful, my little meat chopper works perfectly in this application. Now you can still have some chunks in here. Don't be afraid of the chunks. Let's get this on a little bit higher of a heat. Now, immediately what I like to do is I kind of like to create a little hole in the middle, and that's where we're gonna go with our spices. So right here, we're gonna do some oregano, let that kind of toast up a little bit. It's about a teaspoon and a half. Then with this doesn't matter because it's just gonna kind of blend in. That's our basil. Then we take our sugar, we're gonna spread that around, and then we're gonna take about a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna hit that in there as well. Now, right now I can smell that oregano toasting up perfectly, and just a little bit of that oil. Get that right by the heat. That way those flavors really come out before we mix everything in. Give it about another 10 seconds. And finally, we're just gonna do a little dab of anchovy paste to try to just beef this flavor up a little bit more. That oregano is getting really flagrant. So now we're gonna mix. Oh, now look at that. That's a good pizza sauce right there. Look at those little chunks of garlic, those little chunks of onion. It's just gonna add another level to this. So we're gonna let this simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we'll check back. All right, so I added about another teaspoon of salt to it just because I wanted that flavor to come out a little more. And now I'm gonna add another teaspoon of sugar to it. There we go, perfect. And that is basically what your sauce is gonna look like after just a few minutes of reducing. So we had a lot of that water evaporate, a lot of those flavors are now a little more concentrated, and this has turned into a beautiful pizza sauce. We got a lot of rustic vibes to it. Little chunks of tomato, some garlic, some onions. So at this point, you could taste it. If you think you want it to be a little sweeter, add more sugar. If you want it to be a little more hot, you could do a dab of hot sauce. If you want it to be a little saltier, add salt. So at this point, we're gonna take it over here, and now we're gonna roll our dough out. Let's go. All right, so we're about to roll this dough out, and that means we gotta get some flour action going. So there we go. We got our apron on, flies the bird in the sky, you feel me? So what we have here, see this? It's a clean counter space, okay? So we can just put our flour right on here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Look, dough's gonna go there. So we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some flour out right around here, get our workspace coated, and then we're going in with our room temperature dough, and then I'm just gonna kind of guide it out just like so, right in the center, just like that. And now we're gonna hit it with a little sprinkle on top so we're not sticking. Beautiful. At this point, there's probably some air in here because it's come to temperature. So we're just gonna push it out, beautiful, and we're gonna spread in a circular motion. Look, you can see we got some bubbles right there. It's gonna start to flatten out, and then we're just moving around in a circle, trying to get that dough into the exact shape that we want. All right, now I'm gonna come up with it, and at this point, we're gonna let the weight of the pizza do the work. So we're gonna start towards the middle. We got our fingers here, our thumbs here. Start towards the middle and let it kind of stretch itself out, and we're just gonna quickly rotate it around. Boom, pop it back down, give it a little stretch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here we go, stretching that puppy out. Use our fists. Now listen, I am no New York or Chicago pizza chef, so I'm sure that there's dudes out there that are way better at this than me. But all I do know, and women, definitely women out there better at this than me. All I know is that I feel like I got this on point right here. So look, what we do is take it and then, hey, it's a pizza pie, a pizza fly, pizza french fry. We bring it back, and then we're stretching again. Again, we're just going for that round shape. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not. If it is, congratulations, you should open a pizza restaurant. But a great chef once told me, if it's a perfectly round pizza, it's not real. So again, I just have like a little more thickness over here towards the end, so I'm just trying to roll that out, stretch that out nice and slow, get some air in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Avoiding the very thin areas because we don't want any rips. chips. And look at that, we got a perfect looking pizza on the way. All right, so the pizza looks pretty good. Take a look. Yeah, we like how that looks. Now listen, we're gonna cut to B-roll when we put this whole thing together, but I wanna explain something to you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it on a peel. That's the last thing, that's the last step, right? Before we put the toppings on. We flour our peel. Actually, we can do it right now. Where's it at? All right, so I got my peel, check it out. So we're just gonna hit it with a little sprinkle of flour. I used to use cornmeal, but I discovered you don't have to. And I also discovered something else. When it comes to pizza, a great pizza chef said, don't load it up. Don't overdo it with the toppings. Now look, okay? It's slippery right now. It's gonna fly right out on our pizza stone, but we only got a certain amount of time. So we're gonna cut to the B-roll, hit it with the toppings, hit it with the roller, into the oven, 8 minutes at 500. Let's go. Happy. Like, what can I have a whole fresh pepperoni pizza in front of me. What can I say? I'm happy. This looks amazing. Listen, I tweaked some things when it came to the process of actually making it, the technical side. This, whatever I did is perfect. I mean, this looks incredible. So without any further ado, that spooky music is playing. Let's get this taste test. Oh, look at the bottom. Oh, perfect, crispy. Run it. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that sauce. So what I did was I try to implement lighter toppings. That's what this pizza master said. Personally, I would do more cheese. If I could, I would throw more cheese on top of there. The flavor of the sauce, incredible. You can't beat it. That is, it's herbaceous. It's got a little bit of heat. It's got that sweetness from the sugar, the salt, the depth from the anchovy paste. It's fire. As far as the cook time, it's perfect. I like a nice crispy crust. I would give this pizza, honestly, a 4.5 out of 5. Incredibly easy to do, but I think if we added a little bit more cheese to there, it would bump it up to a 5 for me. I'll let Jamari give it a taste test, and then he can let us know what he thinks. What you think, big dog?
I'm gonna give it a 5. I don't know what he's talking about.
Whoa, word?
That's a 5. I'll give it a 5 only because I don't really like a lot of cheese. I like the sauce more. The sauce makes the pizza for me, not the cheesiness. If it's too cheesy, I'm like, all right, my mouth start getting dry. I need something to drink, all thirsty. I don't got time for that when I'm eating. I'm trying to enjoy this flavors.
All right, so it's been about 3 minutes. That pizza did not last. Everybody that ate it gave it a 5 out of 5. They said it didn't need more cheese, so maybe I'll bump mine up to a 5. I don't know. I like a little more cheese. Hey, if you made it this far, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit me in the comments. I'll hit y'all back. I appreciate you for watching. My name is Farnum. This is More Seasoning, and that was probably the easiest pepperoni pizza I've ever made. It tasted great. I'll catch you next time. We out.